Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntreMD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntreMD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntreMD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Hear me. People are Googling. People are ChatGPTing. People are looking for what you do. People are looking for the answers that you have in your brain. It's time to take it. It's time to put it in content form. It's time to solve problems. It's time to position yourself as the expert. It is time to lead. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntreMD podcast, where it's all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. The buzzwords that we hear now are recession, tariffs, trillions being lost in the stock market, week by week, and all of these things going on. And a lot of times what this does is it triggers panic, it triggers fear, it triggers anxiety, and ultimately gets people in a position where they're paralyzed. They're not moving. They've thrown away their goals, or they're just watching to see what will happen. They're waiting, and all of those things. And I'm so glad you're listening to this podcast episode today, because I want to challenge you to not do that, okay? I want to, first of all, before we even get into what I have for you today, I want to remind you of how to respond when things are chaotic the way they are now. We had practice, right? We had practice in 2020. We have seen some version of this before. And in 2020, I remember nobody really knew what COVID was. Nobody really knew it would get to pandemic proportions. People had shut down their practices, like we'll just shut down for 2 weeks and we'll get back to business as usual. Nobody knew it would be years before. We never got back to normal, but before we get to any semblance of, things being normal, we've been here before. Okay. Now, when that happened, I didn't have a crystal ball. So I did not know exactly what needed to be done. I did not know every step, but what I did know was that the worst thing I could do would be to stop, to pause, to just sit and watch and wait. I knew that my response to it needed to be full speed ahead. I knew that my response to it needed to be, I'm going into the eye of the storm. I'm not running away from it, right? I need to face it head on. And if I face it head on, 2 things will happen. 1 is that I will thrive through it, not just survive, but I will thrive through it. And 2, on the other side of it, I would be in the best possible position I could be in. And that's exactly what happened. And so 2020 hit, as far as my private practice went, we went all in on engaging all the strategies that would be used in an online business with email marketing, all of those things. We brought it into the practice, really leveraged telemedicine and all of those things, played full speed ahead. we did better in revenue in 2020 than we did in 2019. And we did better in 2021 than we did in 2020. I knew it had to be full speed ahead. Now, the second thing, the second business was EntreMD. And at that time, I had done a 12-week program. I had done a 9-month program, all of those things. And I knew it was full speed ahead. So the very first thing we did is I launched a program called Thrive. And it was just like a jumpstart, like, guys, whatever we do, we can't hold back. We can't play it safe. We can't watch and wait and see, because there's so many businesses that are about to go out of business and they'll never recover. Right. And so did that, and then ultimately got the nudge in 2020, same year, to go all in on the EntreMD Business School. And I said, yes, like the EntreMD Business School was launched in 2020, in July 2020, like in the middle of the pandemic. Makes no sense, but that's exactly what we did. Okay. Now, in that business in EntreMD in 2020, we did double what we did in 2019. And 2021, we hit our first million, and we've been growing ever since. Right. And so we've been here before. Right. I've been here before. My clients have been here before. We've been here before. Okay. And so before we even get into what we have, I want you to understand that this is a time to focus and this is a time to advance. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying. Now, what I'm not saying is don't take care of yourself, all these things. I'm not saying do that. We don't talk about building a business at the expense of your faith, your family, or your physical health, right? We just don't subscribe to that. So I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't take care of your mind and all of those things. Please do that. But this is a time to focus and advance. This is not a time to retreat. This is not a time to watch and wait and see. This is 1000% not a time to be paralyzed. Okay. All right. So today, what I want to talk about, and probably going to have a number of episodes on this, but what I want us to talk about is really how can I recession-proof my business using content? Okay. How am I going to do that? Because you're creating the content anyway. And if you're not creating content, I hope after we're done with this, you're going to decide to start doing that. But how do I recession-proof my business? How do I make myself more relevant? How do I make myself where people are still coming to me in a time when people are holding back? People are like, let's watch and see what happens over the next few months. We're not going to do that. Okay. All right. Now, so the overarching principle here is this. You have to understand this. You're in a position where you're like, what's going on with the economy? What does that mean for this? What's going on with the tariffs? What the recession look like with all these layoffs? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Guess who is having all these questions as well? Your clients, your patients. They have this as well. Maybe you're experiencing some stress and all of that stuff. Guess what? They're experiencing as well, stress. So even though you may say, oh, people don't want to come because they don't have as much money and all of these things, please understand they have more problems, not less problems. They have problems that your business solves. They have questions on their mind that they need answered now. And so you have an opportunity to be even more relevant to your clients and your patients, right? Like you're listening to this podcast episode. I'm not just running my mouth. I'm telling you things you can use to solve the urgent problems you're having in your business right now. Right. And that's the same thing. Like you can use your content to do that. So the overarching thing is don't be fooled by all the noise. Your people need you to serve them. Your people need you to lead them. Right? In the time of unprecedented challenges, guess what people need? They need leadership. They need someone to say, okay, this is what is happening. This is what is scary, but this is what we can do. And this is what life can look like on the other side of this storm and all of those things. They are looking for leaders and they are looking for guides. They are looking for people who answer their questions. They are looking for people who will relieve the challenges, the problems that they're having right now. And I want to challenge you to be that person for your patients, be that person for your clients, be the person. Okay. So now, when you create content, and this is something I've always talked about, but I want to lean into it and even more. When you create content, don't create content as a chore. Don't create content like, Dr. Una always talks about building an HQ, so I guess I'll just do this YouTube channel and stuff like that. No, your content is designed to be an employee in your business. Your content can be somebody that works 24/7, never takes a day off, does not complain, doesn't take breaks, and, and never has an attitude. Your content can be that. And so I want to show you today, right? Like how to go from just creating content that's a chore that you just check it off, like, oh my goodness, thank God I did it, and all of those things, to where is something you're using strategically to serve your patients and serve your clients at the highest level. And at the same time is positioning you as the leader in your space, is positioning you as the number one option to work with, is positioning you as someone who gets it and all of that. Okay. So what kind of content is this? It is content that is relevant. Okay, it's content that is relevant, it's content that is interrupting the conversations that your clients or your patients are already having in their heads. It's content that solves problems. Is that kind of content. So I'm going to give you 3 categories. And when I speak of this, I'm going to kind of speak from the standpoint of YouTube or a podcast or a blog. So we're talking long form content. Like, what kind of things do you need to talk about now if you want your content to be an employee that will recession-proof your business? Okay. So the first thing is you want to use your content to answer the urgent questions that your clients or your patients have now, right now. Okay. You want to answer that. So I use myself as an example. There are a lot of physicians who are scared because of what is happening with the market, what's happening with recession. Business for many is more challenging because they just can't make as many sales or get as many new clients and all of those things. And so the questions they have is like, how am I going to fill up my schedule? How am I going to get those clients? How is my business going to survive a recession? Am I going to go out of business? All of these things. These are questions they have. So guess what? That is what is directing my content. I'm not just creating to create. I'm not just creating to be consistent. I'm creating to solve problems. Okay, so now we have an episode like how to recession-proof your business. This is what my people are asking for, right? When you look on the private practice side, I literally started a brand new YouTube channel called the Private Practice Channel, right? So you can check it out. It's at the Private Practice Channel, and you can subscribe and all of that. And if you have people in private practice that you actually love, share it with them. And what am I doing? I'm listening. What are the questions people are asking? Oh my goodness, people suck. They're so stressed out and all this stuff. This person left us a 1-star review. So I'm like, okay, how to get 500 5-star reviews. Oh my goodness, this person left and all these things. How to hire top talents for your private practice. We are not having people come in and all these things. How to use events as a growth strategy for your private practice. Like, I'm literally answering the questions that they have. I have many things I'm interested in, but I'm not here to interest myself. I'm here to solve problems. So number 1 is you take the questions your people are asking and you flip them and you turn that into the title. You answer the question. That is content that they will take. Is content they will share. Is content that will make them know this person gets it. This person is staying abreast of what is going on. This is the person I need to work with. It positions you as the one. That's number 1. Number 2 is content that gives them direction for the time that they're in. Okay, the time that they're in. So for instance, you're a psychiatrist. Well, stress is at an all-time high. Your people need direction. Like, how do I manage this? You might be a primary care doctor and you're like, that doesn't apply to me. But their diabetes, their hypertension, all of this stuff, isn't it affected by stress? Them, being so paralyzed that they're no longer keeping their appointments, they're not taking their medicine, all that. Is their health not being affected by that? Like, what's the direction? What's the direction that they need, right? From my own patients and my own clients, right? They're like, oh, and Medicare cut by X amount. Well, this is how you respond to that. If they cut it by 2.8, well, you can raise what you get by 5.6 and no harm, no foul. Like, they need direction. They need direction in this time that we're in. What do we do? They need the direction for that. So you answer their questions, but you also give them direction. What did I do when I started this video? I'm telling you, the direction cannot be paralysis. The direction cannot be, let's watch and wait and see. The direction is focus and advance. Right? Focus and advance. So you want to give them what to do. You want to give them what to do. You're a pediatrician. Talk to the parents about what to do with their kids in this time with this unprecedented stress. Talk to them about how they can manage what they're doing while dealing with being a mom and being somebody who's afraid of being laid off and all of that. Your people need your leadership. They need direction from you. What do we do now? Okay. The third thing is you want to look at the top mistakes that people are making in this time. And then you want to come out and say, these are the mistakes people are making, but not you. Don't make these mistakes. Don't make these mistakes. I want you to think about it, right? And if you think about it, there are many mistakes that your people are making. And you see them and they come in with complications from the mistakes and all of those things, right? Or you've seen this before, like I've seen this before, and I'm coming back and I'm like, listen, if you stop, if you allow yourself get paralyzed, this storm is not going anywhere, right? Like, it's not, the ripple effect of it won't go anywhere. So what are the questions they're asking? Answer it. What is the direction they need? Like, from a leadership standpoint, like, okay, this is what is happening. This is where you need to go. Tell them, what are the top mistakes you see people making? Tell them about the trends. You're a coach, you're in finance and all. Of course, everybody wants to know, do I liquidate all my stock? Do I buy stock now? Do I time the market? Or do I just spend time in the market? Like all of those things, like these are hot topics. Don't say I don't care about them, because you're not there to serve yourself. You're there to serve your clients, and they want to know. They want to know. So listen to me, right? People are looking for leadership. People are looking for answers to their questions. People are looking for mistakes to avoid. People are looking for people to follow. People are looking for people who will help them in this time. And the people who do that, they're going to be the people who will be positioned as number one. And they're going to be the people who are going to have massive growth on the other side of this, because they were busy putting in the rep and moving against resistance. So once the resistance is moved, it's full speed ahead. This is not the time to hold back. Okay. So if you're like, I don't know about starting podcasts or starting YouTube, or, I used to do YouTube, I don't really do it anymore. Or I don't, I don't want to use my time. Hear me. People are Googling. People are chat GPTing. People are looking for what you do. People are looking for the answers that you have in your brain. It's time to take it. It's time to put it in content form. It's time to solve problems. It's time to position yourself as the expert. It is time to lead. It is time to lead. And so what that means, is it going to be work? Yes. Are you going to need to work on yourself so you can be calm and peaceful in the midst of all this chaos and lead and have before thinking all of that stuff? It's going to cost you to do that. Okay. But the opportunity that is available is you get to serve more people than you've ever served. You get to serve them in a more powerful way than you ever served them. You get to position yourself as a leader, and you get to position yourself to be full speed ahead when this goes away. Okay. So this is my challenge for you. Okay. I want you to take these 3 areas. So the urgent questions they have, the direction they need now, and the top mistakes to avoid is 3 things. And if you create 4 topics for each of them, that's 12 pieces of content. And that's enough content for the next 90 days, right? Like your YouTube or your podcast or whatever. That's enough for the 90 days. I want you to develop that. And when you do it, I want you to send me a private message on Facebook. Say, Dr. Una, I've accepted the challenge to lead. I've accepted the challenge, and I've created my 12 pieces of content. I've decided on the titles, and I am going to lead my space. You let me go. I just want to cheer you on. Okay. I just want to cheer you on and say, oh my goodness, that's amazing. Like, let's go. Right. I've chosen to lead. I've taken the challenge. I've chosen to lead. So do that. And then go create the content, go answer questions, go solve problems. And when you do it, you become a magnet for the people that you've been looking for to work for, because now they're looking for you. They're looking for you. Okay. But this is the deal. What I want for every single one of you is that in the middle of all these things going on, that you are going to thrive. And because you did the work and did the reps and put in the reps and build the goodwill and did all of those things, when it gets to the next season and things are calmer, you will win in a way that will blow your mind, completely blow your mind. That is my dream for you. But it all starts from taking ownership, for deciding to lead, to deciding to serve your people at the highest level, decide to keep putting in the reps in when others are pulling back. It is deciding to not yield to panic and fear and worry and anxiety and paralysis. It is deciding to move forward, to focus and advance. So go do that. Okay. This podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, this YouTube channel is a gift for you. It's time to say, okay, I am going to control what I listen to. I'm going to control what I watch, right? It doesn't mean I'll be ignorant of the news, but it means I'm going to feed myself with what I need to keep pushing forward in spite of the resistance. And I am going to win. Okay. So I'm absolutely rooting for you. I cannot wait to celebrate all your wins. Take the challenge and let's go get this done.